Hey folks, and welcome to the Daily Ratings Weekly Movie News Podcast. This week's news brought to you by me trying to describe what Dolby Atmos really is. Yes, this week we're doing something a little different and stepping away from the normal movie news we cover. And much like the VistaVision and IMAX episode I did, I wanted to turn to Dolby Tech and the Dolby Cinema that Vincent Daly and myself talk about from time to time. So Dolby Vision and Dolby Atmos, what is it? Can you get it? Is it actually better? How does it work? What if my credit score isn't great right now? All those important questions when it comes to this format. I'll break down and get at least a little in the weeds so we all end up understanding it a little bit better. And you can really bore someone to death in the break room with this knowledge. And I'll share how it works in your own living room and also the things to watch out for when purchasing your home theater or TV setup. I'm actually going to break this up into small episodes over the next 3 weeks. Today we'll cover Dolby Atmos, next week Dolby Vision, and then in 2 weeks discuss the culmination of them and some other things that give us that Dolby Cinema. This will be a little longer, but if you're interested in knowing more about these highly marketed terms and what they really mean, then bear with me. Now, let's do a Dolby dive into Dolby Atmos. Okay, so first, all of this tech, this format and specs, they're controlled by the company Dolby Laboratories, Inc., which was started by Portland, Oregon native Ray Dolby in 1965. He actually started the company in England, but moved it to San Francisco in '76, where the headquarters remain today. So let's talk Dolby Atmos, something slapped on boxes and advertising everywhere related to audio, including cell phones now. But what is it really? Basically, as I'm sure that we all know, it's a premium audio format, and it's spatial format at that. So a normal speaker setup has separate channels like left, right, center, rear, and pumps certain audio through them in specific ways. But Atmos allows a specific sound to become an object moving throughout your room. Of course, the most generic case in this is a helicopter moving from side to side and up above you. Again, a basic surround system can do a lot of the same things these days, but it can't really do above all that well and position things and make it sound like an object is moving through the room rather than just side to side. And overall, audio mixers working on movies, TV shows, and video games can be more precise with specific sounds and create a better 3D space. So a rainstorm can sound like it's encompassing you, but the thunder you hear is overhead, and then you can get a crack of lightning farther in the distance behind you. Now, how the audio is actually set and altered, you just take a film that wishes to utilize Atmos audio. The final cut of the film is essentially completed and the scenes are locked in. The sound editors then organize the dialogue, the sound effects, ambient noise, and music. And now sound designers and re-recording mixers get to choose what sounds or music stays in the traditional surround audio bed and what sounds are to become objects in the room, like that helicopter, where an engineer can manipulate the 3D room and code it in where the object goes and when. When the mix is encoded to go on specific formats, the Atmos metadata just records that object's position over time. So that's how it's created in post, but what are the speakers doing themselves, and why do they cost more than normal surround speakers or headphones? And why do you have to pay more for a theater utilizing Atmos for the big screen? When it comes to your living room, you really have 3 options for your sound setup. Your TV speakers, and that's it, a soundbar and or a soundbar plus subwoofer, then a multi-speaker surround setup. First of all, if you're just using your TV, you won't be getting close to real surround sound, and definitely not Atmos. Don't believe the stickers on the TV. Same thing on your phone. Anything like that boasting Dolby Atmos is dumb. It just sounds ever so slightly better than the standard audio from a standard same device. Now, there are some few soundbar subwoofer setups that get a little Atmos-y, and then, of course, your non-Atmos multi-speaker surround, which typically is labeled as 5.1, 7.1, or even 9.1 surround. That first number being the number of speakers, so that 5 represents front left speaker, front right, surround right, and center, and then that 0.1 stands for how many subwoofers you have for bass. A 7.1 adds 2 rear speakers, and 9.1 adds 2 what's called wide speakers between the sides and the rear for even more immersion. Now, a 7.1, 9.1 setup can really get great audio. But again, if you want something a little more, you want to be looking for those true Atmos speakers, which add speakers that either fire upwards to bounce off the ceiling and come back down on you, or you get true overhead firing speakers. So a 7.1.2 system adds 2 overhead speakers. A 7.1.4 adds 4. Again, most basic home theaters are utilizing upward firing speakers to bounce off the ceiling rather than making you fix physical speakers above you. And sorry if this is all specific and a little mundane, but it's amazing how almost every company charges extra for Atmos, and you're going to get wildly different results here. But that's what the number system is referring to. So, hey, if your neighbor sounds a little pretentious about his home theater and says that he's got a 16.4.7 surround setup, well, now you know what that means. And yes, he may be pretentious, but he also has a really good home theater setup, so maybe watch a movie over there if you get a chance. As I said, there are actual soundbar subwoofer combos that can get Atmos-like. Basically, there are so many small speakers within the soundbar that directionally fire the speakers in different ways to either hit you directly or bounce off the walls and ceilings to mimic the surround and above you. Same thing with the 7 and even 9 speaker setup. If you're not putting speakers directly on your ceiling, then what you have there is upward firing speakers that bounce off the ceiling to mimic that helicopter. So just do your research, know what the numbers mean, and know what you're really getting in the end. Lastly, here is just a buyer's beware, or really watcher's beware. Just because your speakers can give you Atmos quality doesn't mean the thing you're watching or game you're playing is encoded with it. Only certain entertainment properties spend the extra time in post to give the proper spatial sound. So if you're not watching or playing one of those properties, you're just kind of getting normal surround sound. And on another note, just because a streaming service, show, or movie says it has Atmos, or the thing you want to watch is in Atmos, it still might not be Atmos. Oftentimes, you have to be paying the highest tier the streamer offers to actually utilize the perks. So some Netflix originals might have great Atmos and sound to it, but if you're paying for that lower tier Netflix, you won't be getting that data, so you won't actually be getting the best sound once again. It'll sound really good on your speakers, but you won't be getting that thing that made your speakers more expensive to begin with. So be aware of that, but when you have it all right and it's all good to go, the sound really hits, and in the theater, it really hits, which we'll get into in a couple weeks. But for now, that wraps up this week's Dolby Dive here. Class dismissed on Atmos. Next week, we'll get into Dolby Vision and what all that hoopla is all about. Hope you all enjoyed this Talking with Two Shoes here. And as always, the Daily Ratings weekly movie news-ish podcast. That was it. See you on Thursday.